We'll go a little bit into more detail on the cameras, the AI settings, different features, deterrence, voice prompts, and like I mentioned, I'll cover all of that. So the first thing we'll do is we'll show how to add the cameras to the NVR, then do some AI configuration, go into a little bit more about loitering detection, custom voice prompts, and then lastly finish it off with deterrence. So as you can see here, we are on the NVR interface. And if we go into the configuration tab, we'll first see the channel page. So for the channel page, for our two active deterrence cameras that we are discussing today, it would be our 3155 5 megapixel turret active deterrence and our 3158 active deterrence model. So all we need to do is click on search. And then keep in mind, these cameras are already pre-initialized for this demo. So in the case where you may have your own camera, if it's brand new out of box, you may need to initialize it first if you have it on a PoE switch. But we went ahead and already done that. So all we need to do here is go ahead and look for the camera. So we have the first one here, 3158. We go and click on the checkbox. And then if we scroll down, we can find the other camera here, which is the 3155. So once we have those, we can just click on add. Username, we can leave default, and then we'll just put in the assigned password that was used for this. So now that the password and username has been assigned, you can see that they already populated. It will take a second or so for them to fully connect. And then these are on our demo outside, which you'll see shortly. So it looks like our first camera is already online. So this is our 8 megapixel. And then the channel number 2 is our 5 megapixel. So if you're adding in, I would like to also cover that. If you're plugging the cameras directly into the NVR will auto initialize it for you. There's no need to set any passwords or anything like that. You can have the NVR automatically assign the username and admin password for that camera. If you need to plug it into a PoE switch due to installation restraints, you can also do that here, and then you can customize your IP address. So we like to put all of our IPs that are on PoE switches on static. This way they don't change, just in case if the power goes out, the switch goes off. Once it comes back on, and we make sure that it has that same IP and doesn't change to avoid any conflicts. So once you have your IP set up, your password, your username, everything is all good to go, then you can go ahead and add it into the NVR. So now that we showed how to add the cameras into the NVR, we'll go a little bit into the AI configuration. So to do that, we'll go into Event, and then you can see here, you can select your channels on the left. So for the camera that we'll be working on today, it'll be our 3158, our 8 megapixel active deterrence model. And as you can see that there are many different AI features available. So you have your face detection, your human in vehicle, loitering, which we'll go a little bit more into detail shortly, enter and exit region, your perimeter intrusion, line crossing, object detection, and then your statistic analysis, such as your cross counting. This can be used for retail stores and see how many people are coming in and out of an entrance at a specific time. And then you have your heat mapping, your crowd density. Crowd density will essentially tell you how many people are in a specified zone, and it'll have a number up here in the top left of the camera. And then you could set like an alert if it goes over that number as well. You have your Q length to see how long the lines are, and then your rare sound, and then just your basic smart motion detection and video tampering options. You do have all of that, and then you can also link them to your active deterrence, set up on a schedule, and everything. So you have full AI customizable options in terms of the option you want to use, and scheduling, as well as your linkage. So that can be done with any of our deterrence model cameras. And then secondly, we'll go specifically into loitering detection. So for loitering detection, if I default, it's here. All right, so now it is defaulted. So what the first thing you'll see here at the top is loitering duration. So what that means is how long that person or vehicle, or non-motorized vehicle in this case, stays within that specified zone until the alarm is triggered. So we can have it from 0 seconds, so as soon as they enter, or you can have it up to 1800 seconds. And then from there, we can go ahead and let's just say we want to do it for 24 seconds in this case, just as example. Then, depending on the height of your camera, where it's placed, you may need to adjust the maximum pixel size. So let's say you have this a little bit closer to the ground and you want to do bigger vehicles like this box truck here. You may need to adjust the pixel size just so the camera can recognize it and be within its view. Because what happens sometimes is during installations, this setting is changed and made really small. So, for example, something like this. And then if a big truck comes by, the camera is only detecting objects that can fit within this box. So making sure that the pixel size is big enough for that object. So we can just max it out as an example. And then we'll go ahead and select all of our targets. And then what we can do is enable it. And that gives you the option to draw your area. So now that we have the option to draw our area, we can go ahead and do a bounding box here. So essentially this area here, we don't want any people to be hanging around, loitering. We don't want them anywhere in this area. So now that we have that, we can just go ahead and save it. So now the settings have been saved. We can set this for a schedule. Let's say we just want them to be active outside of business hours. So we'll have it from, let's say, 6 p.m., starting at 6 p.m. up until 6 a.m. So the blue that you see, that is when the loitering detection will be active. So we can go ahead and click on apply to save it. Now we can do the alarm linkage. So with the alarm linkage, this also ties into the alarm deterrent setup as well. So the first thing we'll do is set up a siren. So just click on enable, and you do have two preset options available here that you can choose from. And if you click on enable, you can also change the siren level and the duration. So you can have it from 5 seconds up to 180 seconds. And you can also set it on the same custom schedule as well, from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So you go ahead and just click on apply there, and now your siren is set up. Now for your warning lights, which is your red and blue active deterrence, same thing. Go ahead and click on enable for the checkbox. Click on the setting, click enable the checkbox on the warning light. You can adjust your duration, and then you can also apply your same schedule through here as well. So that would cover the active deterrence part. And now we'll go into the custom voice prompt. So let's say that you don't want to use the siren for this specific camera in your use case. So what you can do instead of the siren, you can go into alarm, click on voice prompt. And then for voice prompt here, you can upload your custom file. So it says import an external file. So if you click on import, it'll bring up your file folder. Either if you're doing this on the NVR, you just need to plug in a USB with the file preloaded on it. If you're on computer or VMS or anything else, just make sure that you have the file saved in a folder that you can find it. So once you do that, you click import, and then your file will be saved here. The other option that many customers or in our partners like is the option for text to speech. So you have your text to speech, then you have your languages. So you have many different languages that you can choose and want in this case. So you choose your language, then your file name. So we'll just name it demo. Click on that. And then for the text, we can say demo testing. So we'll just put demo and then testing. Okay, and then click on import. So as you can see, it was imported successfully. And now if we go into our voice files here, we can see demo. So with that, now what we'll do is we'll go back into event, go back to our camera. In this case, we'll go back to loitering, make sure it is enabled. So now it's good to go. And then we go into alarm linkage. And rather than enabling your siren, you'll want to enable your voice prompt. So click on the checkbox, click on setting, then you will have it activate into the camera. So you'll have two options, local. So what local means is if you have your NVR with the HDMI cable to a TV or monitor, you can have the voice prompt play out of there as well. So that will happen. That happens if you have that checked. Otherwise, you can click on channel and the voice prompt will play out of any channel that you select for that camera. Then you can go ahead and click on the voice prompt you made, in this case it's demo, you can set a custom time on when you want it to activate. So you can link this up with your AI schedule, and then the duration. So how many times that voice prompt will play. So you can do it just for one time or play up to 10 times. So again, once you have all of that set up, just make sure your warning light as well, and then click on apply to save all of those settings. So all the settings have been saved. So now what we covered is how to add in the camera to the NVR, how to set up a custom IP address, initialize it. We went over the different AI features that are available in the camera. We covered the loitering detection setup, your voice prompt, your scheduling, and active deterrence features. So for today's demo, that would cover everything.